from Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in beautiful Lake Worth, Texas. Welcome in to the Grandpa and Pappy Show. It is good to have all of you with us, I'll tell you.
Welcome aboard, everybody.
Going to be another great day of quarantine.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I will say a couple of big things today. The Blue Angels are going to be flying over our area a little bit after 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And another good thing is the hair salons and nail salons, Pappy, are going to be opening up on Friday just in time for Mother's Day.
That's right.
Yeah, Karen and I went out to dinner last night, and they took a picture of us, and you wouldn't have even noticed us. I mean, we looked like Beetlejuice.
I think I saw one of those pictures.
You did. You did. But anyway,
I told Melinda
if I
be
can,
sure and make Jack pretty again.
If I saw that too,
There's no hope for me, but I wish you all the luck.
I will get my hair cut on Tuesday. Thank you. I'm tired of barking at the moon. Hey, we're excited today. I guess you notice a little addition here between us.
Yeah.
Pappy, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, we have a new sponsor. Mm-hmm. You know, it's been coming for a while. M&L Distributing, Circulo Tequila.
Yeah, out of Odessa, Texas.
And of course, I had to sample this last night.
Well, did you now?
Yeah. it works pretty good. And it just happens to be just in time for a Cinco de Mayo celebration, too. So this is good top shelf tequila.
Yeah, it's great.
All the way from Jalisco Distillery in Mexico.
Really?
Is where it's distilled, yeah.
How about
and
that?
It's distributed through M&L Distributing in Odessa, Texas. Lucy, we appreciate you. Mm-hmm. And we'd like to present it to you in 3 different flavors.
Yeah?
You got your Blanco. You got your Joven. Mm-hmm. And you got my favorite weakness, Reposado. This is where me and your brother-in-law is probably going to fist fight and roll the street. 'Cause, he's kind of big on that, too.
Yes, he is.
And let me tell you a little bit something about it here.
Okay.
It's a nice, smooth tequila from raw agave that shows floral hints in the fruit notes.
Oh, yeah?
If you will.
Yeah.
I mean, this comes directly from the tasters. I mean, they know what they're talking about. They taste a lot of this stuff. Probably not as much as
From
me.
what they remember. You know.
Yeah. Now, the flavor is similar to cooked agave caramel and citrus notes with a slight peppermint cinnamon taste to assure a sweet finish on the palate. And by sweet, I don't mean sugary. I mean sweet. You know, it's got that kind of effect on your palate.
I got you.
That I can testify to. It's very highly recommended by yours truly to drink straight, chilled, or it'll make one hell of a mean margarita, buddy.
Oh, there you go.
I guarantee you that. Look for it at your favorite spirit store.
Boy, we welcome you aboard, and thank you so much for helping us keep the Grandpa and Pappy show going on. We had a good show today.
We do.
The topic was, has the politics of the last year influenced the way that you're going to be voting this year? We got some, shall we say, pretty good comments.
Had a few. Yeah,
we kind of cleaned up the language a little bit on some of them, so we'll...
I hate when we have to do that.
I know, but anyway, let's get right to it. William Thompson wrote in to say that the politicians of both parties have a lot to be ashamed of.
Indeed.
He said that the Democratic Party's behavior trying to impeach President Trump was a sham and a slap to the face of the American people. He says, don't get me wrong, I'm a Democrat, but I think it's time to get those people out of government and elect some new blood that hasn't been tainted yet.
By God.
That's one of the ones we had to kind of clean up.
That deserves a by God, William, and we appreciate you sending that in to us.
That really was. That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. And Stacey Roberts of Oklahoma City, hey, up yonder in Oklahoma City, said she is frankly tired of the current members of Congress, and it'll definitely reflect how she feels at the polls in November.
Interesting.
It seems as though the Democrats' main purpose is to shut down the Republican Party, which we agree with, instead of serving the will of the people who elected them. Very profound statement.
You know, the other day we kind of touched on the greatest weapon that you have is the ability to vote, everybody. And gosh, I can't say that enough, Pappy.
Yeah.
I mean, you want change in Washington, D.C., you need to get out and vote these people out of office so that we can get a fresh start, some fresh eyes, some fresh ideas, and get the status quo out of Washington, D.C. That's been the biggest problem that our great President Trump has had to face, because from the day he said his oath of office, it was already in the works to impeach him.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, that's been proven, and
it's all about a new world order situation, in my opinion.
you
It's
know.
a big part of the play, and that's been going on hell forever.
yeah, it really
They've been trying to
has.
establish that crap for a while.
Marianne Stevenson said on Twitter that they are all a bunch of crooks and should be expelled from Washington. Bingo, Marianne. That's exactly what I just said.
Like old brother Brian Emerton said, just burn Washington down and take Congress with you.
And the IRS.
take the IRS with them.
Brother Byron.
Alex Carter from New Mexico can't understand why American voters continues to send crooks like Pelosi and Schiff back to Congress year after year. She says she was a Democrat until the last election and cast her vote for Donald Trump. Hear, hear. She also said she personally knows many Democrats who will be voting differently in the next election. And we talked about this the other day.
Yes, we did. And you
Lot of
know,
novel things.
there are some that I have talked to personally that are very staunch Democrats.
Right.
Now, and that's your choice.
That's right.
I'll stand behind you 100%.
these are people-
However, the ones that I talked to said, you know, I'm so embarrassed by the way our party is going and what they're doing that I just can't vote for them this year.
Well, nor can I.
So, you know, that has nothing to do with whether you're a Republican or Democrat. It's just the people are getting tired, Pappy, of the same old.
Right.
You know, and we go back to the pork barrel spending that you and I had a program on.
Yeah.
You know, why try, especially in the relief package bills, to help Americans through this COVID virus thing? Why pack it with all of the extra crap in there instead of dedicating all of that money
Right.
to helping Americans survive until they can go back to work?
You know, and mind you, pork barrel spending's been going on for years.
Well, yes, it
but
has.
it's on both sides, both parties. But if you're going to do that, hell, do it for the good of the American people. Slide something in there that somebody shot down that's going to actually do some good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't bitch about it so much.
Wow.
So I mean, I got so upset I registered first time since Nixon. So
I am not a crook.
yeah.
Yeah. Tommy Simmons noted on Instagram that he can't believe the stupidity of the American people who continue to send these idiots to Washington.
Amen.
It's time for a change.
Absolutely, Tom.
Yeah. So
Yep. Appreciate
that's
you
one I
saying
had to
that
clean
in,
up too a little bit.
Alberto Reyes said on Twitter he is tired of the Democrats trying to tell the Hispanic people how to vote. He said, we are not dumb, and we can make up our own minds. Thank you very much. So, good point. I mean,
Yeah.
we all put our drawers
Alberto,
on one leg at a time.
I
and
couldn't agree more.
That's
You
right.
know, we've seen, even though it's very rarely that the mainstream media will show it, Pappy, we have seen African Americans, we've seen Hispanic Americans speaking their minds out about how the Democratic Party talks a good game, but once they're elected, they're forgotten.
Well, they'll tell you any damn thing that you want to hear till they get in Oval Office.
Well,
And that's
you
pretty
know-
much both sides, too.
Well, that's correct, too, but
But I mean, you're there for the American people, to better our life. You're there for us
that's true.
more than we're here for you. When
Yeah.
we put you there, do your damn job.
Condoleezza Rice, where are you when we need you, girl? Let's see here. Roger Taylor of Louisiana said he hopes all of the silent majority turns out to vote for President Trump again. He said Joe Biden may forget this is America and do something do something drastic, only to forget what he did later that day.
Joe Biden would probably forget to show up to
Roger,
the Oval
that's
Office
funny. I don't
if
give
he
a damn who
was
you are. That's
elected.
funny.
Yeah. I don't care who you are. That's crap funny.
Well, some of our viewers are good comedians, I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, they just tell it like it is, you know. John H. from Senatobia, Mississippi.
Senatobia, not far from Memphis, Tennessee.
That's a fact. Said that if Americans were as scared as the Democrat Party and their methods as they were of COVID-19 scare, they would get off their ass and vote all these clowns out of office.
Do you see what the underlying theme of all these comments we've been getting?
Yeah.
They're basically saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's get out and vote them out of office.
Well, I mean, it's to the point we've had enough. Something needs.
I've had enough. I don't know about you folks out there, but I have had it up to here with trying to understand what the hell they're trying to do up there.
Well, it's beginning to make me understand the people that crawl up on top of the post office buck naked with an AR-15. It's just out of hand, so to speak. I might very well be the next one. I don't know.
You never can tell. That would be a sight I wouldn't want to see.
Well,
but that's a subject for another program, I guess.
I'll make sure it's black tape over my eyes.
Greg Hill said the people have no idea what is being done in government. They turn on the news outlet of their choice and form an opinion in 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Their choice is formed on the opinion of talking heads, and they blindly go out and vote.
Yep.
They read headlines without reading the story, and then don't fact-check the story if they do read it.
Yep.
They don't get involved, they just complain. For this reason, our government has been able to do whatever they want to us for decades.
You know, that's true.
Greg is very
And you know why?
thoughtful.
You know why, Greg? Because we allow them to.
Exactly.
This is probably the biggest problem that America faces right now. We have allowed ourselves to be put in that position to where we no longer have control of our government. So,
And that's such a damn shame.
isn't that sad?
It's very sad.
And I'm just as guilty as anybody.
Now let me ask you something. Is it because now I'm just throwing out some rhetoric here?
Yeah.
Is it because people just don't want to get involved? A, or they too busy to get involved? B, or C, they just don't care?
No, I think it's a little bit of each. I mean, I got to the point, you know, and I in jest say the reason I haven't voted in so long is because voting for Richard Nixon told me that I had absolutely no common sense when it come to voting. I don't get married anymore. I have no common sense for that kind of crap. So I worked on that problem. I worked on this problem.
He said that. I didn't. Now, come on now. The divine Miss H.
It is so.
That is
just like Mom said.
very
honey,
true.
Mama told me one time, so many women can't be that wrong.
Mama told me not to come.
Mama told me, and I should have listened to her.
Yeah, but
I think in my case it was, well, yeah, I cast my little pittance of a vote in there. What good did it do me? And that's the wrong direction to take. I mean, nothing's going to happen if you don't vote. So, but as a red blooded
well, it will too. If you don't vote, you can't say nothing.
I mean, in our favor.
Oh, I got you.
As a red-blooded American, I can bitch about anything I want to. I'm not impervious to the Declaration.
But you don't have a right to do
But
that.
now that I'm a registered voter, by God,
I love blue dresses.
I think that was green there, Monica,
You okay?
with a little stain on it.
I'm sorry, folks. We just kind of got off the script.
Yeah,
there.
we get that.
Yeah,
We drift from time to time. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that's going to matter is your vote, your voice, and your vote. Opinions are like, you know what, everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
That's a fact.
But your vote puts it in concrete.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And you got to and keep it in context, like you were talking about, Pappy. I mean, you have to do that, folks. Now, we saw I did. I don't know if you saw it, Pappy. A survey that was put out by the Dallas Morning News and one of the, I believe it was North Texas State. Correct me. I'm so sorry if I misquoted that. I know it was the Dallas Morning News that showed that Biden and President Trump are in a virtual heat, even race
I don't believe
here
that.
in the state of Texas. Now, I like to go back to the last election. How many times did everybody expect Hillary Clinton to win the presidency the last time, and showed Trump failing miserably in all of the
It's
polls?
going to be a landslide.
And what happens? What happened?
She got her little crooked ass spanked.
Yes, she did.
Surprise!
Yes, she did. I got a real good question for you. During this COVID virus, how come the Clinton Foundation and the Obama Foundation haven't been putting money into the relief efforts?
I believe the Obama Foundation has.
Well, if that's correct, I stand corrected.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
I know they're up to something.
Somebody's got to pay for my Cadillac. Yeah.
They're probably saving all their fundings for
I can't help it,
next-
folks.
the
It
next-
just comes out sometimes.
the
So
next
forgive me.
impeachment process.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who the hell knows? But anyway, it's
You know, we could go on and on and on, folks, about this, but, you know, it's going to be your vote. Your vote is going to count, and your vote is going to determine who goes back to Washington.
absolutely.
Now, guys, I don't care if you're Democrats. That's your right, and I respect it to the day is long.
That's what put our current president in the Oval Office, and that's what will keep him in there again. So
But I am
Polls.
asking you guys, not as a Republican, but as an American, vote Nancy Pelosi out of here. Vote Adam Schiff out of here. Vote Ocasio-Cortez out of here.
you start with her. You know.
And Ilian, whatever her name is, vote them out. They are not helping America.
They have they've got an agenda,
And I think
and it doesn't.
the
not
Madam
America's best
Speaker
interest.
has been hitting this stuff for so long.
She's not good enough to drink that. But
Well, if she has one more plastic surgery, her butt crack's going to be on her chin, you know. So
wearing a funny looking goatee.
all I can tell you, Miss Pelosi, is don't get around an open flame. You may melt.
Yep.
But anyway, just do us a favor. Get rid of those.
Yeah.
And I'll be a happy guy.
You know, anybody.
Maxine Waters, get her out of there, too.
In all fairness, anybody that's not in the best interest of the U.S., whether they're Democrat or Republican, needs to go away.
Yeah.
Go away.
Republicans, get rid of Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Get him out of there. He's the biggest contradictory person I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
and make old Donald shave his head and grow a long beard and get some tattoos. That'd be better. It would fit his personality a lot better. But
by God.
yeah, by God, put him on a damn Harley and he'd be good to go.
Oh, I get the biggest kick out of our producer and technical director over here at Special K. Boy, she gets wound up as far as talking about politics because
Say
she
it isn't
follows
so.
it so closely. Boy.
We ought to hook her and the divine one up.
Yeah, actually, we ought to put a microphone up there, and we can go take a 10-minute break and have some tequila, and let her talk about politics. Because this girl,
Plug that SOB in, let's boogie. you got my attention. Let me finish my coffee first.
well,
Perfectly good waste
we
of
have
whiskey, but
we have a good time. Want to say hello to everybody from Emory.
Yeah.
And Rains County. Thank you all for going on and subscribing to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. And all my friends and relatives from down there, God bless your hearts. It's good to reconnect with a lot of you again.
Good. I wished I could do that with my clonies
Yeah.
in Longview.
Yeah,
They must have got upset with me about something.
you think?
They might be Democrats. I don't know.
Well,
I doubt it. But
there you go again.
I doubt it. But,
There you-
but hey to all my buds in all of East Texas, especially Longview,
Right.
Tyler area. We'd love to have you join.
All kidding aside, everybody, we just want you to take this very seriously. By the comments we've gotten, by the remarks that some of you have made to us personally. Maybe it is time just to clear out Washington and start over again. And how many times have you seen in the last, I would say, Pappy, month and a half? How many comments have we seen asking for term limitations?
Oh, Lord. Tons of them.
It has been a ton of them.
And when you go to the ballot, when you go to the polls, if it's not on there, write it in. Term limits. Write it in.
Yeah, the governmental procedure, I think, it's got to be brought up by somebody in the House or Senate, and then get it passed by both parties or both houses before it can go to vote for the American people, which I think is a crock, because the American people are their bosses, or at least that's how this country was set up.
That's,
so
the
holy
government
mackerel.
is for us. We're not for the government.
That is correct.
Just do your damn job.
So the bottom line, folks, here, and we'll get off the soapbox, is get out and vote, please. Start making up your mind who you're going to be voting for. Watch all of the stuff going on with these politicians in Washington. Because, I mean, if you really pay close attention to what they're saying, it's just, some of it's comical. It's just comical.
Some of it's just plumb ass insulting.
Yeah.
Maybe
they need to have a congressman like old Sam Houston was back in Tennessee when he went up and literally whipped the tar out of one of the other senators for taking a negative side.
I think Trump that's probably crossed his mind a few times. You can see it in his eyes sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you can, but anyway.
But bottom line, if you want to change, vote for it. That's the only way it's going to happen, is if we make it happen by vote. So,
yeah, like Michael Jackson used to say, maybe it's time for a change.
I always thought he used to go, ee-hee.
Well, he did that too. Yeah.
Well, he was
when he sat on that whoopee cushion, that
made him walk backwards, didn't it?
But anyway, thank you for your comments on that, and we'll be talking a little bit.
And send more on the subject if you'd like so, to Grandpa and Pappy at gmail.com or our website.
That's correct.
www.grandpa, the letter N, Grandpa and Pappy.com.
That's right.
We love hearing from you, and it gives us more to banter about. So
that's exactly correct.
Let's hop into your comments, bro.
Let's do that, brother. Patricia says on YouTube that she has enjoyed watching our shows. Yeah. She doesn't agree with everything we say, but we get her to thinking about things anyway.
That's what gives us more to talk about.
That's exactly correct.
We love having you on board, Patricia. Whether you agree or disagree, we respect that, and thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
Frank Edgar, our buddy, commented that we had a great show, and keep them coming.
Well, we're going to try, Frank.
We intend to, brother. As long
yes,
as
sir.
Allow us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
lovely Alice Harvey from Emory, Texas, says she watched show 21, and she agrees that our nation needs to be opened back up and never should have been shut down to the extent it was.
I agree.
Local businesses and independent mom and pop shops are closing at an alarming rate. We have to take our country back.
These are the people that probably have been screwed out of their life dream. They've got everything. They own.
That's what the travesty of this whole thing
and
is.
Hock up to their earlobes. I mean, they don't have the big corporate fundings and so forth.
And we can't encourage you enough, ladies and gentlemen, to go out to these small shops and get your food and stuff like this, because that's what makes this great country run.
If you can afford it, leave a bigger tip or pay a little bit over the top. These people would do it for you. I mean, that's why they're there. That's part of the dream, So, I mean, let's help each other out.
That's true.
Kenneth Rawlings of Dallas said he is a new subscriber. Welcome aboard,
welcome
brother.
in, Kenneth.
Yeah, Big D in the house. And really enjoyed our program on what being an American means to me. He says all we need to be reminded of that from time to time.
Yeah, we all need to be reminded.
We appreciate having you on board, Kenneth, and thank you.
Yeah. And Thomas Ryan Smith agrees with the silent majority needing to speak up. He says he gets so frustrated that people talk about everything that needs to be done and does absolutely nothing to it or about it.
I have been guilty of that for quite a few years, and I intend to change that.
Thomas, thank you very much.
Reason just to piss Helen off, because we vote on different sides of the fence. Which she's Democrat, I'm Republican, and I respect her for that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we all do. I mean, we respect pro and con opinions. Yeah. You know, it doesn't matter if we don't disagree. We can agree to disagree.
You know, that's probably brings me to the point of asking a question. Why don't we hear from more Dems?
Well, what was his name that said he was a Democrat? I think it was the first comment that we read, which was, I'm going to read it again right quickly.
Good stuff.
William Thompson said the politicians of both parties have a lot to be ashamed of. Now, notice he included both parties.
And I agree with him wholeheartedly.
He said that the Democratic Party's behavior trying to impeach President Trump was a sham and a slap to the face of the American people. He says, now, don't get me wrong, I am a Democrat, but I think it is time to get those people out of government and elect some new blood that hasn't been tainted yet. William, brother, I couldn't agree with you more.
Phase 2, COVID-19. They'll be using that to make Trump look bad like he invented it. If that don't work, they'll blame him on the killer bees coming around. It's like a Jurassic Park movie, you know.
Yeah.
Stage 3.
The toilet on the second floor stopped up. That gum Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know, I can just hear it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everybody.
Just remember, those of you who say that, you know what direction the poopy runs.
That's true.
Right downhill.
Pappy, we have a great show coming up.
Yes, we do.
Friday, we're going to be honoring our moms on Mother's Day. The pictures that you've been sending in with your mom has been terrific.
Yep.
Great response. You're not going to want to miss this show. And we invite you to send the rest of the pictures. We're going to cut it off at 5 o'clock because we have so much 5 o'clock today. But
Karen needs a nap.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And we love all of our moms, past and present.
Keep your comments, complaints, suggestions, ideas coming into us at grandpaandpappy@gmail.com or what's our website at?
www.grandpa and the letter N Pappy.com.
Yeah.
So, good show today. Enjoyed it. Thanks to our new sponsor. We appreciate you very much.
We do indeed.
And we look forward to being back with you on Friday to honor our moms.
Yep.
So until then, we want to tell you to be safe out there. Be very smart in what you're doing.
Take care of one another, and we love you.
We do, and we will see you on our next podcast show. Until then, have a great day. Salute.